That's as good as this is going to get for me. Ta-da!
Good morning.
Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The VSC edition, the most dangerous show of the week.
The issues with trying our new setup and trying to make things work the way they did before. Hello. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in rainy, but it's supposed to be getting less rainy and gonna be getting colder, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
I have to check something. So it's the VSC edition.
Yay!
What does that mean, Liz?
That means it's time for us to tell you about and show you yarns that we have for sale. And
I have to.
because I don't vamp well, and Rebecca is checking something out.
I'm spying. I'm spying. I was talking to someone about the wind thing.
The wind thing with the new installation.
Our landlord is doing things outside. I had to go see if it was about the little gazebo where we sit. Maybe not. Maybe so. Who knows? I said hi to him last night, by the way.
Oh.
So don't talk to him very much. Anyway, there's always stuff going on outside, and they never tell us what's going on outside. So how are you all today? Look, I tried to wear something other than my sorrel, which is my most favorite sweater in the world, but y'all are seeing me in the same clothes over and over and over and over and over again. So this is my Cordy sweater. It is from a Pom Pom magazine publication, not the magazine. It's from Moon and Turtle. And it's the cover design. I love it. And I knit it out of a yarn that's not on sale this week. The Lily Kate Makes Axis that we don't have very much left of right now. I need to order more of at some point, but
It's been pillaged.
It's been pillaged, and it's hard to bring everything up to speed when everything's been pillaged. Everything. So, what are we going to put on sale today?
We have 2 yarns today.
And wait, the reason, like she's holding them both,
Oh,
but
wait.
the reason I thought we might put them on sale is because each of them has somewhat of a Christmas variety. So that's the yarns. These are the Christmas varieties. But for anyone who is like, I need to do some fast, easy, I mean, this is fingering weight, so is it really fast? Depends on what you're making. I need Christmas colors because the Christmas season is upon us. We picked these 2 today. So it's Cascade Heritage, but only certain varieties of it. Cascade Heritage is a lovely fingering weight. I think all the blends are 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. The 2 varieties we are putting on sale today are, sounds like you're drinking soda, but I know you're not. Caffeine. Heritage Prince and Heritage Wave. And I'll have Liz read stats in a second. But the reason, what sparked this all for us is we're not ready to do a big here are notions and things you could get for Christmas. Like, that's a last-minute gift, I kind of feel like. So maybe next week we'll talk about them. I got 3 new colors of Heritage Prints in recently and refills on other colors we've had. So I figured we would talk about this and talk about some of what we do have in stock. Here's the thing with Heritage Prints. So actually, I have an uncanny knack of picking things, asking people to do things when their mouths are full.
I picked it up because you were like continuing to talk,
yes,
and I was
but,
like, ooh,
okay.
I have a time. And then,
By the way, we are still filming on my phone. I did forget to clean off the lens today, but I think it's okay. But we found a different holder for it, so you can kind of weigh in if you like this angle better than how we were filming before. It's still a work in progress. I'm squirreling. If you read the stats, then I will explain the prints and why we only have certain colors and not others and things like that.
Okay, they're both the same stats.
I was going to say, I think they're the same.
They're both the same stats. You get 437 yards, 400 meters, for 100 grams. You get, or they're recommending a US 1 to 3. Oh, It says 1 to a 3 needle on this one and a 1 to 2 needle on the waves. Yeah. They're recommending a C, D, or E hook for all of them. Machine wash, tumble dry, cool, blah, 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 blah. $14.75 for the Heritage Waves and $13.75 for the Prince is what are retailing them for.
What we're retailing, but with the code Product of the Week with spaces in it in that phrase, you can save 15% through next Tuesday night. So we are filming on November 30th. That means through to December 6th, I believe. Okay. Just in case someone's watching this at a random time and doesn't know when we filmed it. So, the Heritage Prince. So it's called Prince because it knits up kind of like more of what we would call a self-patterning yarn than the Heritage Wave is more of just a waving through colors, and it's irregular and fun. I always there's pictures on both labels of how they knit up, and I always think that the Heritage Wave pictures are kind of a joke because it's just a dark blob. Like
they're a darker picture.
I didn't talk to the to Shannon when she came by about that because I forgot because there were so many things to talk about.
Even the lighter colors, it just prints dark.
I mean, it prints dark, so the picture doesn't really do it justice, but it's more of a skein to skein. It's going to look different anyway because the Heritage Wave has a barber pole effect that with the different plies are going to like some of them change color at a different pace than others, so each one's going to look a little different. So if you want to make socks out of Heritage Wave, you're going to get complementary socks rather than matchy socks. I'm doing stuff with a different variety of yarn that does this with Perth right now with a solid, and like it's barely changed colors yet. But when it changes, like the two socks are not going to be identical. They're going to be like, ooh, same color palette. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself, as I always do. Because the Heritage Prince does more of a self-patterning. Although they've been changing over time. Like, they do a run of a color and then it's gone. Because it's really hard to dye the yarn. Because you have to do it with a special machine. And it's really hard to match colors. And we have a few yarns that attempt to do this. And dye lot to dye lot, they'll look very different. They'll look somewhat similar. I'm thinking of, like, the Wacky Sacky.
Yeah.
Some yarn companies choose to do a run of a color and then it's done because it's really hard to replicate the self-patterning. And Cascade Heritage, like some of them will actually pattern like what we call Jacquard, that will look like there's spots where it changes every stitch to a different color to look like you were actually doing the color manipulation yourself. And Cascade's been going through phases where a few years ago they were doing that. We have some of that yarn left, still in really good shape, but it hasn't been produced for a while. And then we have some of it that is more of a stripe, an irregular stripe effect. And then the new stuff is kind of stripey and also kind of like they're trying to shake it up and do different things.
Stonewashed almost.
It's got kind of a stonewashed speckly and stripey look to it. So we brought some of those in. Next year, they may go back to doing the Jacquard. The Jacquard stuff is kind of my favorite, where it looks like different stitches, like there's an actual pattern to it, because it impresses people the most.
It's like faux color work.
Yeah, I call it fake Fair Isle, and it's one of my favorite types of self-patterning yarn, and we only have a few colors in stock that might do something like that. So let's go through from kind of older to kind of newer in terms of the prints first, and then we can talk. I feel like for the wave, because Christmas colors. So.
Didn't pull all the colors because
That's okay.
I mean we have ones and twos of a lot. So
if you have questions about which yarn does what, ask us, or just take your chances. My cookie just stuck to my sweater. That was funny. We have one skein left of the old holiday Jacquard. I'm not even sure if it's up online. If you don't see it online and you're wondering if we still have it, contact us. Like, I can show you the back side of it. It has more of a like colors going. That's the best explanation I have. This one is called Holidays with a Z. It's number 53. We only have one skein of this because they don't make it anymore. They don't even make the holiday stripe anymore. The Holidays stripe anymore. So we only have one of this. So this is much older. That one looks like it does the Jacquard
this
type
one
effect,
does the
right?
Jacquard. It's called Mod. It is a tomato red, almost a neon yellow, teals, grays.
Yeah.
And then the Jacquard, the faux Fair Isle is teal and white.
It's super pretty. And we probably only have a few of that one left as well. We have a lot of random colors, and I will do my best to get the new ones up online in as good a format as possible. The old one's still old as in last year, basically, maybe earlier last year. This one is Mermaid number 90, and this one is super pretty. It has aquas and teals and fuchsia type pinkies, and the Jacquard,
blue gray.
Yeah, the Jacquard stuff is in like blues and grays. It's, if you like teal, this one's really, really good. So
this is color number 84. It's Flames. It's reds and oranges and yellows.
And that's it. But it does the Jacquard type stuff.
Yep.
It's really cool.
It's red and orange, or red and yellow for the faux Fair Isle. But it's pretty bright.
And this one's as close to, we used to have one called Independence that was all red, white, and blue. This is as close as we get to that. This one's Boston. And it's red, white, and blue, and gray. And a few different shades of blue. And on the picture on the back, it looks like the Fair Isle type stuff happens with the white-ish and reds in it. So that's, I think, I mean, there might be a few others over there. We didn't grab everything, but that's the majority of what we have that does the Jacquard Fair Isle look. The next evolution of it is more irregular stripes, and we have 3 of those. And to show you, I actually made a full pair of socks, and I have a little bit left. I know I have the second sock because I know I finished this pair. It's somewhere. But this is how the stripey stuff looks. And it's solid colors. There's a little bit of flecky, fun, weird oddness to it, but the colors are fairly solid. The stripes, if you look at this, there's all these greens and grellos and reds, but they're actually different. Like this stripe is a different red from this stripe. It may not show up on camera, and some of the greens are similar and some of them are different. This one's sulfur stripe. Can you hold up so sulfur stripe, that knits up like this. And again, there's some consistency to it and some like the grays, there's different thicknesses to the stripes, the reds and the grellos and stuff. So it's stripey, but it's not even stripes.
Yeah.
So know that's, but I think it's still really fun because you don't have to change yarns. You're just knitting and you see what happens. And I almost made these match. I think I just started the second one where the first one ended and they almost match, but I don't know where the other one is at the moment. It's probably hiding. If I find it and can take a picture of it, I will. Can't promise anything because today's going to be crazy. So that's one of the colors that we have. The other one, which we sold out of and just got back in,
is Pink Clouds. It's like 2 or 3 different colors of pink and 2 different colors of gray.
Mm-hmm. It's soft pinks. It's really pretty, I think.
I keep looking at it because I'm like, this pink and that pink are 2 different colors, but in the picture, they may or may not be.
I think they're different, but the picture doesn't pick it up well. Yeah. And the picture that Liz is looking at, that y'all can't really see, has the darker pinks look much darker in this picture than they are. And because it's just really hard to get photography right on these things. So, and a new color we picked up because I thought it looked fun on my computer, and it does look fun. Vibrant Stripe. This is color number 114. Picture on the side there. It's just got it's a lot brighter than the pink one, but it's got purples and yellows and bright pinks, fuchsias, and greens, and it just looks fun. And again, different tones of those colors, so the stripes won't all be exactly the same color. They repeat, but so that is one of the solids. And then I brought in 2 that are that stonewash speckly look. And one of them, honestly, I just brought in because it's the closest we're going to have to holiday colors in this. Everyone loves knitting holiday socks. I think I'm going to use this for the gnome coffee warmers I'm going to make. It's called Mistletoe. And you can see there are different colors of red and green with some speckly white throughout. And that picture on the side, it's just going to do weird fadey stuff. So, what's that one?
This one is Beach Morning.
I think it, like, online it might have only been Beach Morn, but I thought morn meant morning, so I titled it that. So you might see it listed somewhere else on the internet as just Beach Morn, as in the shortened form of morning, but I just went with morning. So
it's orange and yellow and teals and blues.
It's pretty.
And,
I mean, I tried to bring in things I thought were pretty.
It looks like sunrise or even sunset at the beach. Like, it's just, pretty.
So, those are the ones that are designed to kind of do a stripey thing on socks. If you decide to do something wider with it, the stripes will elongate and they may look more variegated than stripey. But if you're making socks, they'll make some irregular striped colors. So anything you knit up with this is going to change depending on the width of what you're knitting. So having a sample in the shop does not necessarily indicate what's going to happen when you use it.
I'm doing a ranunculus that I haven't worked on since, forever.
April.
And the socks with the Jacquard. And up close to the neck, it kind of elongated, and some of the stripes showed up on one side and some of the stripes showed up on the other side. And as I'm going around, it's pooling. I mean, it's fun to watch it pool, and I've got a spot where the faux fair isle, and
it all stacked and stuff. And
and so as you get bigger, it does, but it's fun to, see how that does.
If you want to buy this, essentially, if you want to get this and make something like a sweater or something else out of it, be ready for unpredictability. And if you're not okay with that, pick a different yarn. That's my best advice. So the wave, we've seen people make the wave with thicker yarn that Cascade makes and make a whole sweater out of it, and it's been super gorgeous. So the wave also has a holiday color. Again, that's why I picked these two, because we are in the holiday season. Technically, December's tomorrow, but it's after Thanksgiving, so it counts as the Christmas season. So this one is still called Holidaze with a Z, HOLIDAZE, wave. We only have a few skeins of this, but I think some of the wave stuff we can get back in. Because it's so irregular, like they can reproduce it and still have it be, it might be a different dye lot, but they can still have it. So the Holidaze has, it's going to do a barber pole, like I was saying before, like a gentle fade through colors, and it's going to be very irregular. But I find this is fun. Like, I've made some papillons out of, like, the solar of this with black, and it looks like a monarch butterfly, and it's gorgeous. So since I'm holding them right now, solar has all, it's kind of like the, what was the flames or whatever?
Yeah.
Colors, but it's in a fading through colors rather than a stripe thing. It's going to look stripey from a distance, but it's going to fade through those stripes, basically. So solar has a lot of reds and yellows and oranges. And the Holidaze has different tones of green and red and maybe a little gray in there to kind of break it up a little bit. What you got?
This one is lava, and it's all different reds fading in and out of each other.
With a little bit of brown.
Brown.
That's what makes the lava different. We used to have one called roses. I don't think we currently have any of that in stock. Mail lady's coming up to the door. So she's going to go grab that. Roses had reds and purples, and we don't have that one in stock anymore. So we've got the reds and browns, and I'm going to double check that is not in stock anymore. Some of the other ones we have, this one's one of my favorites. This is Nightshade, and it is purples and blacks and grays, and we had a crocheter make a dress out of this, and it was gorgeous. So if you like purples and dark and broody, Nightshade also has some more lavendery purples in it too, but it's very fun. Let's see. Like, I find this Cascade's wave is similar to Perth, the Queensland Perth, which is not on sale this week. Not as much of a wide color range for most of it. It more keeps to a confined color range, colors. Except for that guy, which we'll talk about in a second. But it's a nice palette, and because it's superwash merino, it is it's softer than the Perth. So these two are very similar. This one's called Blues. I don't think they came up to we have people wandering the plaza. This one's called Blues, and it is blues and a little bit of teal and darker blues. It's darker than the one that Liz is about to mention.
This one is Plume, and it's the lighter end of the blues on that.
It's got more light gray
and maybe a grays,
things in it. And I want to say we don't have a whole lot of the Plume in stock right now, but we have more of the blues. So we have two different options if you like blue. This has more blue, that has more teal, and is lighter. One of my favorites of the wave, this one's called Tropical. I want to call it Peacock, but it's called Tropical. And it is like tealy blue, darker blue, and greens. We make Papillon kits out of this if you want something to look a little bit more like a peacock than a butterfly. It looks great with either black or white.
Or gold.
We've done some gold kits. Yeah. We have very random and not many Papillon kits in stock right now, so this is good inspiration for any Papillon you want to make. Grab 2 skeins of any of these yarns and a solid that you like on our site. 1 skein of the solid, you've got enough for a fingering weight on size US 4 needle Papillon. So, what else you got? We got neutral-ish ones. Gray. All different grays. This one's called Graphite.
This one is Woodsy, and it's all everything from like yellow browns all the way up to a darker brown.
I'm making, I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but I'm making a sweater that has cats and snowflakes on it, and I'm using that one for the cats. And I'm pairing it with a solid navy for the color work on it. I think it will be really cool looking. This is stained glass, and I think skein to skein, the stained glass, look, it's one of the more variegated ones that we have. I think skein to skein, it'll be much different. It's got like kind of peachy reds and oranges and pinks, and then dark blues, and so it's got lights and darks in it. But it makes me think of like berries or something. It's not the berry colorway, because I think there is one of those too. And I want to say there's other colors I'm missing in here. Like skein to skein, I think the stained glass looks very different. So, and the picture does nothing for me. So, what do you got?
This one is Grapes, and it's everything from pinky purple all the way through to purple.
I like the Grapes very much.
Yes.
I like it in the thicker weight of the yarn too. That's what we had someone do a sweater in. It's nice, and like if you like pinks and purples, an intense color, it's fun. This one is actually just called Rainbow. The thicker version of it's called Unicorn. I don't think we have it in stock right now. But dye lot to dye lot, the rainbow can look really different. Like it's got all the colors of the rainbow in it. I see red and orange and yellow and green and blue. This one doesn't have as much purple in it as I think it can. This one's much yellower than other dye lots of the rainbow. And depending how the colors combine, like in here, I can see spots where there's not much yellow at all. But on the outside, we see patches. And it all depends on how the barber pole combines. So
it's like your Papillon, where you were like, this looks like a basketball.
I was with the solar, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything changed.
Mm-hmm. So the rainbow is the closest we're going to have to some of the Perth colors, but it has very different tones to it than the Perth colors do. So both of those yarns, there's a lot of options within these yarns, but both the Heritage Wave and the Heritage Prints will be on sale this week. Someone came in recently wanting one of the Heritage Paints, and they really don't make that anymore, so we have very limited supply of that left in the shop. We've really got the more self-patterning, regular striping, or the wave colors. The multicolor, they might be reinventing some of that, but we don't have much in stock right now. So those are the 2 yarns that will be on sale this week 15% off until next Tuesday when you use the code product of the week with spaces between the words, because that's just too hard to change now because we set it up that way. And yep, that's all we got for you today. If you would like to write in a question for Dear Becky and Lizzy tomorrow, we have some questions, but we will always take more and add them to the queue and answer them as we can. At this point, you probably just want to email
Liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
And Friday, we will have another virtual sit and stitch from 7 to 9 p.m. I mostly stayed awake last night. I feel much better this morning because I went to bed like right when we closed the window. But 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom, you can get in with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
Let's get all that down. So
I blinked and was like, don't blink, you'll fall asleep, don't blink.
See, I was tired yesterday, she's tired today. At some point, we will find balance, we hope, and we will see you all tomorrow. All right, bye.
Bye.